Namaste. On this day, our nation made us a promise, a declaration. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. 76 years after that promise was made, 76 years after the Declaration of Independence, the great Frederick Douglass pointed out that that declaration, that promise, did not apply to every single person. It did not apply to slaves in particular. And at that point, he beseeched all of us to be better, to realize that all men are in fact created equal. As Hindus, we believe also, Aj yes taso akash ni taso ete sambrato vahuduha saubhagya, that no one is superior, no one is inferior. All of us are brothers marching forward toward prosperity. But over time, when it is inconvenient to realize that we are all equal, when it is inconvenient to ourselves and to our society to not have a group that we can marginalize and that we can use, when it is inconvenient to us, when it is inconvenient to our financial status, we forget this promise. We forget that the Declaration of Independence is the very ring bolt to the chain of our nation's destiny, as Frederick Douglass says. That these principles of liberty and equality and justice for all are principles that are essentially the instruments to save our nation. Whether it's the caste system, whether it's slavery, whether it's currently marginalized people of color, poor people, we must stop. We were all created equal. We should not take advantage and use others. Pran na jaye, par vachan na jaye. Your life may go, but your word must remain. It is time that we live up to this promise. Frederick Douglass reminded us that at that point, our nation wasn't quite as old. It was only 76 years old. And if the nation was older, perhaps patriots would have been more sad, and reformers' brows more heavy, and the future might have been shrouded in gloom, and the hope of our prophets gone out to sorrow. It has been 168 years since that speech, 244 years since the Declaration. It's at this time that we must be better so that we do not continue to suffer, and that our heavy hearts can be alleviated, and that in fact everyone will truly have justice. As Douglass reminds us, we must stand by these principles, be true to them on all occasions, in all places, against all foes, at whatever cost. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. All people should be happy. Not just some, not just those that were lucky enough to own land, but everyone. Jai Shri Ram.